right. So, hey guys. So I just recently published a blog, a really long blog actually, on my website about stretching, which is kind of one of those areas in the fitness community where people think that they know exactly what's going on, but it's actually a little bit more in-depth than maybe we think at first glance. So based on a couple of requests to kind of like explain what I mean by the different types of stretching, that's what this video is going to be about. So the big question that always comes up is, should you stretch before a workout or not? Because there's a lot of people throwing around ideas. And if you read my blog, or if you don't, the answer is yes, you should stretch, but what type of stretching that you do is really important, because it's very important to differentiate what different types of stretches are. Specifically for right now, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about two. There's either your static stretching versus dynamic stretching. Static, it's very, very simple. Static stretching is something that you hold between 30 seconds to like maybe 3 minutes or so. You sit and you hold that stretch for a while, which is great for your cool down stuff. And then you got your dynamic, which is where you're taking yourself through that full range of motion without really stopping and holding it at all, which is really great for your warm-up. So the reason we want to do the dynamic stuff for your warm-up and not the static is because when you're doing static stretches and holding something for about 30 seconds, if you hold something for 30 seconds, depending on the stretch and the severity of the stretch, generally speaking, what it's doing is it's sending a muscle reflex to the muscle, autogenic inhibition, which is shutting down the muscle for about 30 minutes afterwards. So you're shutting down the muscle, telling it to relax using static stretching. That means when you get up after your warm-up, if you've done static stretching, that means some of your muscle fibers are not firing at full capacity. And at that time, other muscles will start to kind of kick in. I'm talking about my calves. So if you stretch your calves for like 30 seconds, and then you start to run, so some of the muscle fibers are not working for you, your body, the great adapter that it is, will start to find other musculature around to recruit to make that movement pattern happen. And it may not be noticeable to the person doing the running, but you will be making faulty movement patterns that down the road can be destructive. So the answer is, should you stretch before a workout? Yes, using dynamic stretches, which I'll show you in a second, not doing static stretches. So static stretching is the big thing to avoid. Those are really great for workout recovery, static stretches. So yeah, done at the end of the workout is the best way to go. So examples of static stretching, usually you'll see runners, first thing that they do, or maybe old school runners. I think a lot of like athletes and runners these days know better, but you'll see them do the top, go to the wall and press and do the calf stretch, and you hold it for 30 seconds or more. Going into your forward reach, and you just hold it. Maybe not like that, because I'm a dancer and that I just did that like a dancer would. Or the runner stretch, which is this guy. And you just hold it. What you're doing is you're shutting down musculature just by holding it for that 30 seconds or more. So we found that dynamic movement, where you're going to those end range of motions but keeping the movement going, is going to keep the synovial fluid running through the body and warming up the joints. It'll elevate the heart rate, which is part of warming up. And it's also priming the muscles and getting ready them for work, not only in the warming up phase, but like bringing the body temperature and the circulation up, but also in, like getting them ready for full range of motion movement. So examples of that would be, you can go into your runner stretch, but actually don't just hang out there, just kind of like do something that actually moves. I usually do the rock, back and forth. Any kind of like warrior stuff where you're actually going through movements, whatever. Leg swings are a really great dynamic stretch. Leg swings are really good. Even if you're going in for calf stretching, you can go into kind of a bad downward dog and just do some running style treads to warm up the feet. So see, I'm going to my end range of motion through the ankle, through the Achilles, but I'm not stopping. And what that does is it sends a signal to the muscle to prepare for movement, but it's not shutting anything down. That's much better for at the end of the workout. So hopefully that answered any questions that you have. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out. I'm answering these things all the time, and I'm happy to do so. So feel free to reach out if you have questions, anything at all. I'm here. All right, take care, guys. Thanks.